Okay, so recording is started. So what we discussed last week, and we created this lab, and we tried to miss we did this lab, right? But we faced some challenges. So I want to know you guys work on this or not? Pritam and especially Anurag.
Yes, sir. We had worked and found that this is the one arm designing, and in the one
Hmm.
arm, the server gateway is a router gateway. So in this scenario, this is the asymmetric routing. So make it symmetric. We need to define the source net in the big IP.
Okay. And what's your thought, Pritam? Pritam? There is one option poll. I want to see on the Zoom. Hostel. No, this is not the right option. Okay, leave it. So this was the lab, Mohammed. So we did this lab. Okay, this is the one arm mode lab. Right. So on last week, Saturday, I was outside, so that's the reason I was not able to take the session. So for sorry for that. But Sunday we did the session, and we configure this lab, right? And we have on this lab this is the one arm lab, right? So we have the backend servers in the same subnet, cell 5 in the same subnet, and the client also in the same subnet, right? So we discuss when we have the everything in the same subnet, so what we need so for example, we have this PC also in the same subnet, right? And here we initiated the traffic. So traffic go to switch, then F5, and from F5 to the backend server, right? But when your backend server and client in the same subnet, right? Same network. So it will send traffic to directly to this your client, right? So that's the reason we need to use SNAT, right? Let me open these devices first. So our
So
F5
the client
management.
traffic itself, it will directly reach to that backend server, right? Because it's both are in the same subnet, it won't
Right,
go to.
right. Let me, it's what. Okay, so this is the
No,
client.
my question is, if you are doing the source NAT, then how it will going to, overcome this issue?
So if we will use the source net, your traffic will be go to the your self IP, right? The original source where it's received, right? And then your original source will forward this traffic to your client.
No, no,
Let
no.
me
My question
open.
is, both are same subnet. The traffic directly, client traffic directly go to that backend server. It won't go to that big IP, FI.
No. But what we are accessing, no? We are accessing the BIP. We are accessing the BIP, no? This 10.26.1.100,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So the traffic will be go to like that,
Yeah, fine. Okay,
right?
fine. Understood.
So now traffic is on BIP, right? And from BIP, it will be convert to the self IP, and your self IP will send this traffic to here, right? Now the return traffic, if we will not use the SNAT and all, then your traffic will be moved to like this way,
Directly, yeah, it will respond to directly to the
right?
client. Yeah,
But what happened if we will use the SNAT, then your traffic will be moved to this IP, and then it will move to this IP
yeah,
like that,
understood. Correct.
right? So that's the region. So let me show you even the documents. If the F5 document, uh, and I will also paste this as a link so that these are some useful link.
Sir, if we use the router in between client and the switch, then the same configuration will be used, source net.
1 second, 1 second. So this is the the quick deployment of one arm, right? So here somewhere it should be right. If I'm not wrong, this is the correct documents. This. So read these lines, okay? A common problem with one arm mode configuration is that they can break load balancing when the web server means our backend server, right? This is the web server. Do not use the big IP system as a default gateway, right? So here we have the F5, right? And right now how it's connected, let me change. It's connected here we have the switch like that, and here we have the client, right? The client is in the same subnet as virtual server and web server. So all are in the same subnet, right? 10.26.1.0/24. So this is the region, right? So that's the region we need to use the SNAT here. And in the SNAT, we can use the Automap. So we can use the SNAT pool also and Automap as well. Right? So if we will use Automap, whatever you have the self IP, your the translation will be with your self IP only, right? But if you are using the SNAT pool, so you took some IP from the same subnet like 10.26.1.0. Okay, this is your network. So you pull 10.26.1. Maybe 10 and the other no 10 we have already. So like 50 or 50, I think we have 10.1.60 and 70 you choose two IP, right? And you created the pool of this IP, right? So we will discuss where we can create the pool. So then from these IP will be used in the SNAT translation. Any doubt on this?
No, sir.
Okay.
Yes, for now.
So let me go to the.
So what about that Automap? Automap.
So see, Automap means we are saying that this is the self IP, right? Okay. We are not giving any other IP. We are not using any IP. Okay. So this is kind of we are using the one-to-one, one-to-one netting, right? So we have the this single IP only, and we can use for the translation in between your client and backend server.
So instead of doing static net, we are doing one-to-one. I mean, self IP.
Yes. And whenever we are creating the pool, okay, so we are defining 2, 3 IP, right? So maybe we define one IP, two IP, and third IP, right? So whenever the translation will be happened, so it may be choose this IP, maybe this IP, maybe this IP, because
Okay.
these IPs are from your pool, net pool. So
Yeah,
let me
correct.
show you where we can create the pool. Mohammed, you are from which time zone? IST only or other time zone?
Yeah, ISG.
Okay. I thought you are from any other time zone. No, I think this is not able to see. What size we can use? This one we can use. You are able to see, no? So this is clear, no? Or I need to change the resolution. I think it should be good, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. So this is the BIP we have created, all right? 1026 1.100, right? And this is your client. So we have the IP on the client 1026 1.1, right? And here we have the IP of 1026 1.100. So let me go here, HTTP 10, okay, 1026 1.100. So I am able to use the backend server, right? It's a server 3, server 2, server 1, right? But if I go to the virtual server and I see the source address translation, right? So what I'm using Automap. In case I change it to the none. Your virtual server is still up, right? But when we go to the client and we will try to access it, so now your backend server is not responding to the
So
F5, right?
where did you change in the virtual server configuration?
Yeah. So let me again say, okay. So I go to the F5, right? Local traffic, virtual server, and whatever the virtual server we have. So we have this HTTP underscore BIP. And when you scroll down, you will see the option source address translation, right? Here you can change.
Okay.
Okay. So once you will use Automap, it will work, right? So now we are using the Automap, right? And let me go to the SNAT pool. Oh, sorry, client. So we are able to access. Now the third thing, we are saying that we need the pool, right? So we are using the 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 and 1 also. So let me use 10, 26, 1.60 IP as a pool. Okay. So let me go to the management. Okay. And if you see local traffic, okay, there is one option address translation, right? So once you will click on this one, there is one option SNAT pool list, right? So here we will create pool. And I'm using 10, 26, 1.60. And now I again go to the virtual server. Now your pool is created, right? And I go to the virtual. And instead of Automap, I will use your SNAT and it's saying what is the SNAT pool. So what we created SNAT pool, right? And let me update it. And now if we go to the backend server, so it's working, right? But if we want to see the behavior, what happened? Who is good in the Wireshark? Hmm?
Little bit, but not
192.168.10.100. What happened? It should be open now. What is the management type?
10.100.
192.168 10.100 no? Yeah. And what I was using? 10.26 I was using what? Okay. Root your password. And TMSH, which interface we are using. So I think we are using only 1.1 if I'm not wrong. Okay, 1.1. So this is the also focus. Okay, this is the the TCP dump. Okay, where you can see the behavior. So this is the command TCP dump minus NNI. Okay, now you will type port. Okay, so here you can type that any means every port, right? Or if you want to in the numeric, so 0.0 means any. Okay, and then your host and your BIP IP. So what is the BIP IP? We have 1026 1.100, and what is the port we are using? 80, right? This is the correct IP 1026 1.100. Let me go double check. So see 1026 1.100, right? And I just click on the virtual server. So now we are here. So you see 1026 1.1. What is that? Your 1026 1.1 is your PCIP, or we can say
Client IP.
client IP, right? 1026 1.100 your virtual, right?
VIP IP.
BIP IP. So 1026 1.100. Let me, I think I need to refresh. Okay, so 1026 100 dot. So here so this is the random port 49171, right? And we have the BIP on which port? Port 80, right? So in the translation, net translation, what happened? Your source port would be random, right? But your destination is always whatever your original service you are using, it will be the same. And I think let me see if we have the Wireshark, right? I can give you the good example. Here we have the Wireshark. Okay, we have. So now this is the command to write. So W means write, and where we can say var, okay, var temp, and we can say SNAT dot pcap, right? And let me just send some traffic. Server 2, server 1, server 3, server 2, server 1. Now we can do Control C, and we need the Win SAP. And this. Okay, so we need to take connection now first of all. 192.168. What is the IP? F5 IP management. 10.100. What is the username? Root.
Root
What is the password?
admin.
No, no.
No,
It's
root.
something
Sorry,
like
root.
I have set up. Yeah. So you
Okay,
will
you
know.
reset it, right?
Don't know. Yeah, yeah. So where we need to go? So what we set up, like we need to go to var temp, right? So we are under var. Now we need to go to the temp. Temp, right? Here what we used SNAT, right? SNAT.pcap. So SNAT.pcap. The system have the date wrong or what? Okay, let me stay. And now this is under documents. Let me go to the documents. And we use the virtual server, and we are using the SNAT pool. Okay, good. So this is client IP, this is BIP IP, right? And then we just have the 100. Why it's not showing your what is the command I for IP address, right? Yeah. So 10.26 1.100 and 1.100. So this. Why it's not giving like this
So the translated
IP.
IP will be visible on the router, sir. If we do the debug on the router, we can see.
No. We are using F5, no? So F5 is like doing the translation, right?
Yes,
Right now. So we should have the like the IP, whatever IP we have. So for example, we have created the pool with the IP, I think 60.
yes, sir.
Mm. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me go here and instead of this, if we will use Automap. There is also one option if transaction statics.
So if you are selecting that Automap, it will take the this one self IP. Am I right?
Right. That's the reason like we want to uh, take the capture again. So this is the auto astronaut, right? Hit the traffic and let me go to the client. Okay, now if we stopped it, okay, and we go to the win SAP. So we use auto SNAT. This one, copy, paste. It should show like, or we need to like, change the IP.
Are you looking the translation?
Yeah, I want to check the, so what is saying, okay. Means we should have like, the packet also from the, here like, we should have the entry IP or self IP or netted IP, right? But it's saying like, it's going to the 100, even though we are not able to see the backend server IP, right? But we should
Yeah,
have.
yeah. The NAT IP and the backend server IP also should be visible. Yeah, correct.
Right, right. Let me do one thing. Mhm. Okay. So if you see 1026 1.50, this is the backend server. Oh, so what we did, okay, what we did, listen. Mm, I did one mistake, okay. I will let you know where I did the mistake. So temp and new auto map dot pcap.
So what is this command used for?
Give me 1 second, I will let you know, okay, don't worry. So var temp tmp temp, it's saying that right. Var temp, yeah, that's good. So why, okay, let me write in that way. New auto map. Okay, so okay, now you can ask your question. So listen, but Mohammed, like what I am doing last time. So if you see this command, okay. So what specific I was looking only this IP, right? So I am saying whatever the traffic we have on the virtual, just show me this traffic only, right? Now what I ask, like that do TCP dump, right? On any interface, whatever the status we have, just share with me. You got my point?
Okay, hyphen NNI 0.0 means that any interface,
Zero means any.
any IPs, not
No,
interface. I
no,
mean
no, no.
any
Any interface. This is the any interface. This is
0.0 mentioned like any
yeah.
interface.
I say like do the TCP dump on whole device.
Okay.
That's the command. Like this is the like TCP dump command. Here like we are saying do not translate and everything. 0.0 we are saying that any interface, right? We can also write like this command in that way as well. Uh, any. Okay. But first of all, we will check this one, new auto map. Then we will like go to this one. So new auto map, copy. Okay. See now. So if we filter, see 10.26 1.50. We have the IP from source 10.126 100, right? This traffic is go on this. If we will use the 50, so see, this is your self IP, right? Your 50 send the traffic this time to 30, and this time, like it's sent to the second server 20, right? 30, and your backend server respond to which IP?
50.
50. That means your
Self IP.
self IP, right? So this is your self IP, this is your backend server IP, right? Now backend server respond to which IP? Self IP. Now understood, or means still we have doubt?
Yeah, yeah, understood.
Okay, now what we will do? Now we will use the SNAT pool. So instead of 50, what IP we should have,
60.
right? So let's do it. And also, like I will clear your doubt. Which one? Uh, so I use any instead of 0.0, right? And I am using
So the TCP
new.
term hyphen NNI, which referring any interface, and any in the sense like any IPs, any IP, right?
Yeah, so any interface means, like maybe your traffic going by a management IP, maybe 1.1, maybe 2.1, everything, right? It will capture, like whole device, like traffic. But if you want to, like go with the specific, right?
Hmm.
So you can also do. So we will do, no problem.
Okay.
After that we will try. Okay. So now what it's saying again? What temp I'm using this one and pool. TCP dump NNI space any. Okay. War temp pcap. TCP dump minus NNI any. War. War temp. Okay. It's not a TMP. I'm typing TMP. It should be TMP. So this is the reason, like we have the direct, we don't have the directed TMP. We have the only TMP, not
TMP.
TEMP, right?
Okay.
So new SNAT pool dot pk. Sometime, like we are doing and we forget, like what we are doing. So okay. So what we need to do? We need to change the, first of all, the, I need to control C first, right? If there is anything we can delete. New SNAT pool, right? This is the one. New SNAT pool. Delete it. And I will go to the virtual, and instead of the Automap, what we will use now? Your
NAT pool.
SNAT,
Yes, NAT pool.
right? And we have the SNAT pool here, right? And if you like go to the statics, okay, here you can also see the SNAT pool, right? If let me clear this one. There is no traffic right now, right? And we will like TCP dump. Now I will go to the client. Let me hit the traffic. So your traffic 10 dot, it should be like 1026 1.10 30 20 10 30 20. Now go to here, cancel this one. Also we can see if we have the statics now here. See, right? And now we go to here. Let me refresh. New SNAT pool. And let me open this SNAT pool. So if we should have the 60 somewhere, right? See, any doubt on the SNAT now? This is your SNAT pool IP, and this is your server IP. This is server 1, right? On server 1 we have 10, on server 2 we have 20, and server 3 we have 30, right? Now your this is your like that bit traffic, like the from source to like 60 to the 10, and now your backend server like responded back to the pool, right? And if we will see like that, the other IP, thirty 20 we should have as well, right? 20 10 we should have as well somewhere. 10. This is the like the if you like giving the F5 interview, right? This question is like very important. What is the difference between Automap, SNAT, or SNAT pool, right? The first question, right? First question, SNAT, right? And the second question, self IP and floating IP. These two questions are like every interviewer asks. And the third question, even though this question is very like uh, important, and even though like whatever like this what we can say, I forgot like who is calling, so what is the name, recruiter, okay? Recruiter always ask like can you give me the like the answer of what is one arm and two arm mode. I don't know why they are asking this question every time. So many of like student like shared with me, and even though I also face like this type of like interview question, they are asking like this is the means they have like the basic question. Okay, just tell me what is the difference between one arm mode and two arm mode. Then they will write, okay, and then they will send to the technical team that okay, this person like we find. So these two three questions just like with just prepare. And if we have any doubt on these questions, let me know 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time.
So the
Right?
self IP configuration done on the last week, I mean,
Yeah, we did, but we will discuss again.
the floating IP also,
Yeah, floating still we have not
the
discussed.
HA is not configured, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So this SNAT and Automap, you clear or not? Means in the Automap,
Yeah,
uh,
it's clear, because both are say, but both are doing the net travels, I mean, net translation. So here we are using the,
here we can say statics, and here we can say dynamic. Right?
yeah,
This is the
the single
also
IP
good term,
address
right?
will be used in the Automap.
Right,
So, and this SNAT, we can use a bunch of IP addresses. So
right, right,
for,
right.
yeah,
So
so that,
why we are using? Okay. So why we need to use the SNAT pool? Okay, give me the other answer. This is kind of your interview. So why people is using SNAT pool and they are keeping 2 3 IP instead of one?
the reason for that, that one single IP address can translate 65,000 translation.
Right, 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 right. Pritam and Anurag.
Yes, sir. To reduce the
Okay.
overall
Right, right.
figure.
So whenever in the simple language, you can say whenever we have the number of means hits, or we can say number of loads of connection we have so if your single IP is not able to translate, then we need the pool members, right? So if we have 2 3 IP, they can translate your IP, right? So for example, your one IP is translating 100 IP. Okay, this is the example only, right? But you got the 300 request, 300 connection. So what will happen? It will be choke, right? But if we have the 3 self IP, sorry, 3 pool member in the
Pool
SNAT, then
members.
what happen? It will be distributed, right?
Yeah.
Sir, I have the one question. Can we use the same SNAT pool with the different VIP?
No, no. So listen, your pool SNAT pool member should be on the same subnet where you have the self IP. Means self IP should be same, and your SNAT pool member should be same subnet. And if you want to use the one SNAT pool in other BIP as well, you can use, but the good recommendation, always create the different pool with the different IP,
Okay.
right? Otherwise, what will be happen? Once you will take the TCP dump, right, like we did here, right? So you will be confused,
Yes, sir.
right or wrong?
Yes, sir. It send the traffic to the all the backend server.
Yeah, no, no. So you will see that, okay, this is the pool member, but sorry, this is the your SNAT pool, right? IP. But you have the maybe this is your uh, Unix pool, right? And this is 21 is your the we can say PHP pool, right? Maybe this is something the other pool, right? So you will confuse. So always the recommendation that always create the SNAT pool for different bit. Like if we have the BIP A, so create SNAT pool A. If we have the BIP B, so create SNAT pool B. And here we should have the different number. So 1026 1.60, right? Here we can say 1026 1.70, right? Here maybe 61 62, here we can 71 72, right?
Yes.
So now we are good with the SNAT pool and Automap, right?
Yes.
Pritam, you have any doubt?
So after your statement that the self IP and SNAT IP should be in the same subnet, right?
Right, right,
All the scenarios.
right.
Only
So,
thing is
so
the only thing is the backend server always it will be a different I mean zones like different IP subnets. That I mean by default in the real time scenario.
right. So listen. So this is your self IP, right? So what is that?
26 dot
Self IP is
okay.
nothing but you take the IP from your VLAN, right? Like we are using the but we can say what happened SVI in the Cisco, right? We are taking one IP, right, as a SVI, and we are using under the VLAN, right? So here you can take any single IP, okay, if you are in the standalone devices. But if you are in the HA, what you need to do? You need to take three IP, right? One for your
Primary
first F5, F5 1,
and the
second for
secondary.
F5 2, and
The
third
third one
for
for the floating
Floating
IP.
IP.
floating IP. And whenever you will raise the request for your firewall team to allow these IP, right, you need to provide these three all IP, right? Just remember, right? So for example, someone asks I need the firewall rule from your F5 to the maybe backend server, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pool member, or we can say backend server. So what three IP means will be as a source? Self IP of both devices, right? And floating IP. So now you have the how much source you have?
Three.
Right? And whatever the pool members or we can say backend servers you have, you have the destination, right? So whenever you will raise the firewall request, you need to provide these three IP.
So sir, in this case, we have the different pools. Then we would require the three more IP.
Listen. So if you have no, say again.
So these three IP is related to the pool one, right, sir?
No, 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 no.
Backend server.
It's not a pool one. So you are using VLAN 10, you are using VLAN 20, you are using VLAN 30.
Okay.
And this is your 10.26 1.0/24. This is 10.26 10.30 1.0/24. This is 10.40 1.0/24. So you need from this VLAN you need three IP. From this VLAN you need three IP. From this VLAN you need three IP.
Right, sir. Right.
And what you need to do now? You need to create three self IP. Means here we have right now the let me change the
Three self
page.
IP over the
Okay.
firewall one. Three
So
self IP.
we have this is the VLAN your 10, right? But
Yes.
if we will create VLAN 20, so what would be the IP? 10, 30, 10, 30, then
50.
1.50. If we are using VLAN 30, then 10, 40.1.50, right? This is for standalone. If we have the devices in the HA, then what we will use? This is the traffic group one only, right? So if we need to create the floating IP, what other option we need to choose, right? So we will create, and if you see traffic group local only, right? Here we will use traffic group one. What is that?
Floating.
Floating IP. So floating IP is nothing but we all configured
Hmm.
we have this switch one, this switch two. These are the core switches, right? we have the IP. We have the IP like 10.26.1.99, 10.26.1.98, and here we configure the HSRP, and we have given the IP 10.26.1.100. So this 1.100 it would be your the client as a gateway, right? We are doing like that in the companies.
Correct, correct.
So the floating IP is nothing but your
Virtual IP.
virtual IP. So okay, so like how it's work. So whenever your PC, someone is using PC in your company, right? They have the gateway 10.26.1.100. So this PC will take worry about if this switch is down.
No, because it's for that availability. Because if it is
Right,
first
right.
device it
Because
goes down,
it's
so
not sending traffic to this one and not this one. It's sending the traffic to this IP only,
virtual IP address. Yeah.
virtual IP.
So yeah, it's clear now. My question, I have one question. So like in the self IP, so do we need to create, for example, I have a 500 servers, I mean 500 subnets, different servers.
Mhm.
So do we need to create 500 virtual IPs in the, sorry, 500 self IP in the F5? Do we need to create or what?
If you will use 500 VLAN, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You need to create the self IP. For every VLAN, you should have the one punch up bunch of the self IP and floating IP on your F5.
No, no, VLANs will be created in a switch end, right? So, if I mean you mean that when we are creating the gateway in the Wi-Fi itself, so that time only we will use this 500 self IP, right? So the VLAN and all everything will be created in the switch side. Then the gateway will be in a different, I mean, device. Then this self IP is only one is enough, right?
So you are saying that okay, this is your router, right?
Correct. Hmm.
And this is your switch.
Correct.
Okay. Now here we have the
Uh,
F5.
correct.
Okay. Now this F5 is connected to the switch, right?
Correct.
And then this this router is also connected like that.
Correct.
And here may be the switch, and here may be server one, server two, server three, right?
Right.
Now you are saying we have the VLAN here,
Correct.
maybe 10 VLAN,
Correct.
and this PC have the gateway of this router have the IP, for example, 172.16.1.100, and these servers have the gateway of this IP, right?
Correct.
Now, what is the question?
The question is, we have 10 VLAN, I mean 10 servers or 10 server zones are there. So in this
Mm,
case, do we need to create 10 self IP?
right, 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 right. You need to create 10 self IP, right? But what you can do, for example, you are only using one interface, right? Here, this is
Hmm.
your 1.1, and this may be your GIG 0Y1 interface, right? And this is
Hmm.
your trunk, right? So what you can do, and now what you are using, you are carrying your all VLAN with this interface, right?
Correct.
As a uplink,
Hmm.
and this interface is connected to your F5 as a
Correct.
1.1. So what you will do now, you will you have this interface right now, and assume we have the lot of VLAN, right? So you will create trunk here, and you will call your 1.1 IP here, interface here,
Right.
right? And then once you will go to the uh, so you will go to here, first of all VLAN, right? And you will tag your interface, the first thing, right? So for example, this is your trunk, right? And you are using as a 10, and you are using this as a tagged, right? Tagged means trunk in the F5, right?
Yeah.
And okay, so it's saying like it's something huge. Okay, the VLAN interface and the 10 is custom. Okay. Let me change what happened. There is some internet issue from my end or what? You guys able to hear me now?
Yeah, I can
Yes,
hear
sir.
you.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So you see what I used? I used trunk and VLAN 20, right? This is the just
Mhm.
number, okay? And here we use 1.1, right? Now what I can do, I can go to the self IP and I will create, and here see I can use trunk, right?
Yeah.
And I can use like 1026 1.10. I can use for the other VLAN as a 1030, right? And for other 1040. You got
Okay.
my point?
Yeah, I got you.
Because what we did, like here we bind the interface, right? Okay, so let me remove this,
VLAN
otherwise
tag
like
will be
it will not
play a
work.
crucial role here.
Sorry, say something. You're saying something?
Yeah, yeah, VLAN tag will be, I mean, playing the
Right.
crucial role here. So yeah,
So like this question is also like some like interviewer asked, what is the difference between like untagged and tagged? Untagged is nothing but your,
access port
but tagged is nothing your,
trunk.
right? And so okay, so we created this. We discuss about like the self, sorry, SNAT, right? And like how we can create the virtual, Mohammed, or you want to like you want to see again, so that if you want to see, I can create like the other virtual as well.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So Pritam, can you guide me like how I can create the virtual? You are there or not? Okay, Anurag, can you like I think Pritam is not there, or I don't know what. Anurag.
Yes, we need to, we will create, we will click on the create icon.
Okay,
The
no, no. So
exercise.
I am here. Okay, so it's like your interview question. I need to create one BIP. So what is the requirement first of all? What we need to create if we need to create the BIP? So what is the requirement, like what we should have, like
The virtual IP and the backend node details and the
virtual
services.
IP, backend node detail.
The
And pool
services.
member.
Sorry,
Pool.
pool.
Services.
Okay, this is the combination of the pool.
Okay.
Okay, and pool member. Okay, so hold on. So this is the also important question. Let me stop you here. What is the difference between node or pool member and pool? First of all, guide me, what is the node? What is the node?
Node is the backend server or the IP address is defined on the physical server.
Okay, so it may be like 10.26.1.10 or maybe ABCD. ABCD is nothing but your host name, right? Server host name. And what is the pool member?
Pool member is a group of the node, group of the IP addresses and the host.
Group of the IP
IP
address and host.
or host, sir. Yes, sir.
Mohammed, this is right or wrong? Say yes, no. Unmute yourself first.
Yeah, sorry, I was in mute. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the wrong or right?
Yeah, the pool member is the backend, the real servers.
Pool member is the backend. Okay, this is the backend real server.
Yeah.
Pritham, Pritham, just unmute yourself if you are on mute. I think you are on mute. He's
Sir, I
not there.
think pool is a
Okay,
combination of
so
the IP
pool
addresses and
member,
the services.
right. So that's the reason,
Yes,
pool member is 10.26.1.10 plus
services.
80. This is your pool member.
So
And
it will
once
give
you have
SSL.
the combination of pool members is called
Is a pool.
pool.
Okay, sir.
ये नहीं चलेगा भाई.
Yes, sir.
You can't forget if I'm teaching I'm teaching deep dive and you still
Yes, sir.
so just be we remember. Mohammed, you
Last
also
class I
clear
didn't
now?
attend. Yeah, yeah. Last class I didn't attend. Yeah, fine, sir.
Yeah. So okay, just guide me what is that. Okay. So uh what is that? Sorry. What is that? The
Backend
right
servers.
now we have. Huh?
Backend servers.
This is
Pool, sir.
called your
Nodes.
node, right? But now what is that?
Pool members.
And this one?
Yeah, this pool members.
This one?
This one also.
Now what is that? This is your pool, now.
Yes, sir.
So once you added the all pool members to one group, it's called pool, right? So now we come to our original question. So if we need to create the BIP, so we need the BIP IP, right? We need the BIP service. So IP may be 10.26.1.100 and service may be 443, maybe 80, right? And we need the node, or we can say the pool members, right? How many pool members they want to load balance, right? And the other question which type of load balancing algo they want, right? Maybe RR, maybe least connection, maybe priority group, right? Other thing,
Sir, SSL profile
SSL profile.
कौन सी यूज करेंगे? Which?
Next,
Sir, net translator.
net translator. No, this is they will not share. Like the application team only can share BIP IP, BIP service, node details, right? And load balancing algo and SSL profile. Means they can say they don't know like what is the SSL profile. They can say that okay, I want to like encrypt my traffic, or I want to I don't want to encrypt my traffic, right? So where I need to go now? I need to create the BIP. So this is the F5. Where I need to go? I mean the network or where? Where I need to create the BIP? Anurag.
Network, sir.
Network, okay.
So it will be in the system, sir.
Okay, I go to system now.
Virtual IP is there.
That's the reason, like you guys not doing the lab. That's the reason, like you are going here and there. So always, like this is the local traffic, and under the local traffic you have the virtual server. Here you need to create it. So where I need to go? Local traffic, virtual server, then click on the create, right? So here I can say like okay. So Mohammed, like I'm using 10.26.1.101. Which service you want to like load balance?
Yeah, now
80.
we can 80.
Okay, yeah. And this is like the protocol we are using TCP right here. And if you require to like the SSL profile, you can call them, right? Source address, we can use whatever you want to use or as per your topology, right? This will not like your application like team will let you know. So this is you need to like decide, right? Because like your F5 traffic flow. And here we have the default pool. So pool, what is the pool? HTTP. Okay, we have created. So I will show you. So these are the important details. Okay, so we give the name, right? Name could be anything as per your standard, right? You can give the description as well. You can say like if someone like raise the request, right? You can put the request number here or the name of the guy, right? And you can use this is the type, right? What type of virtual you are creating, right? So we are creating only standard. This is the source address, right? So what is the meaning of this source address? Okay, what is the meaning of this destination address?
Original address, or I mean the server which is running with the services.
This is your BIP IP,
Which IP?
the actual URL IP, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
your google.com, right? Like that. This is what
The services which is providing.
services, right? And this is the protocol and all. We will discuss later on.
So what is the
Deep
type
dive.
standard and source addresses? Source addresses will be any, right? I mean anyone can access.
So see, right now we are using any, right? Or we can use like that. So Right now we have not put anything, but we can put like 0.0.0.0
which means that any.
slash 0. That means any, right?
Yeah.
And if I will not fill this one, then what will be happen?
By default, it will take standard. This one any.
Right. But if we need to specify that okay, only this source will become, then we need to define the source. For example, we are saying 192.1.1.0/24. So what happened now?
That server is accessible only from this subnet.
Right. So whoever available in this subnet 192.168.1.0, they can only access the 10.26.1.101 BIP, right?
Correct.
Good.
So what
What
about
I
the
am
type
using
standard?
here we have the standard virtual. We have the other forwarding as a layer 2. Third, we have the forwarding IP, which we will use mostly in the router case. Then we have the performance HTTP, performance layer 4, stateless, reject, DSCP, internal messaging routing. So you can also use your F5 as a DSCP server. Right? We will try to use the other standard type also, right? But
Okay,
right
thank
now
you.
we are using standard only, right?
Super. Okay, fine.
So I just click on the finish. So now we have the 2 BIP, right?
Yeah.
10.26.1.100, 10.26.1.1. If I will go here and I will type instead of 100, I will type 101. It will work,
Yeah, it will work.
right? Server 3, server 2, server 1. Okay, so let's take 5-10 minutes break, or you want to continue?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no, it
fine with
depends
both.
upon how much time we need to be more. If it is 10 minutes, then we can continue. Otherwise, we will take the break.
So take 5 minutes break,
Okay, sir.
and we will come back, right?
Fine.
Your time is start now. I'm back.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm just, recollecting. So the node is like the backend servers, and the pool members is backend servers plus the services which is, providing, and the pool is, which is include the pool members. Is
Right.
my understanding correct? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. You got like 10 out of 10. Okay. So now what we
Sorry, I have many questions.
yeah, yeah, no, no,
Uh,
no. You can ask.
yeah, the self IP part. So if you are using the SNAT, in my
Mhm.
scenarios, like I'm not going to going with the self IP. I'm just going to implement only the SNAT only. Okay. So in
Right,
this
right.
case, do I need to create a, self IP for all the VLANs? I mean, 10 VLANs.
Definitely. Listen, if you will not create the self IP on your F5, right, you can't communicate with your backend server. So this is mandatory. You need to create the self IP only. And your self IP also use in the monitoring the services. So if you created only SNAT pool, right, you your monitor will be not work.
So it only do the address translation. So the source net
Right,
will be
right.
do the
This is
address
this is just
translation.
only for netting, we can say.
Okay. Okay. Whereas that
Yeah.
which self IP will be used for the monitoring the services which is running behind the
Yeah,
original
self
servers.
IP always use for your uh first we can say net, right? Second we
Hmm.
can say monitoring, right? And lots of things, but you need this is the requirement from the F5 that you need the self IP. And if you are in the HA, you need all as well floating IP.
Okay, so during that availability check, the self IP will be used for each and every different VLANs with their own IP addresses. Like, yeah, understood.
Great. So right now, what till now what we did, right? We have created one BIP with the service of port 80, right? And we have the backend pool member with the port 80, right? But now I want to go here. I want to access this BIP from publicly, right? From the internet. What I need to do?
It has to be do the NAT at the egress devices like in firewall or router. So they have
No,
do
no,
the
no, no. So if you will go to the internet, we need to create 443, because we want to
Oh, okay.
uh, yeah, encrypt our traffic in between client to F5, right? And here maybe the plain traffic, right? So now we will create our BIP with the 44,
443.
right? And our backend pool member will be
80.
80. How
Port
I can do
translations
that?
has to be done.
How I can do that?
Yeah, port translation needs to be done.
Yeah. So there is for example, I open this BIP, right?
Mm.
And instead of 443, sorry, 80, I use 443, right? And I
Yeah,
have updated it. So now we have the BIP with the port 44,
443.
right? 443 means your secure HTTPS,
Secure.
right?
Yeah, yeah, SSL. Yep.
So if now I will go here and I use the HTTPS, so it will not work. Why?
The services are not running.
Really? Which services you are saying?
HTTP services is not running on the end device.
No, 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 no. So I want to the backend pool member. So this is the pool, right? And on this pool we have 3 servers, and these all are with the port 80, right? I want
Yeah,
the backend server will be in the port 80, but your BIP should be with the 443 only. So what we are doing here, so this is your laptop, right? You are accessing F5 BIP, and here we have this server S1 with the port 80. On BIP we have 443, and user accessing this 443, and now your F5 will translate it to the port 80.
So this is what the actual scenario we want, but the thing is like the 443 services is not running for the backend servers. So instead of doing the, if you want to access really, then we have to do the port translation. So we have to enable that port translation in the FI side.
Okay. So Anurag or Pritam? I think they are still not come or what? Okay. So let me show you something. You're talking about one translation part, right?
Correct.
See here what it's saying,
Yeah, port address translation is enabled, port translation is enabled.
right?
Mm.
So that means there is nothing but what we can do here, right?
Client side SSL side.
Okay. So where I need to enable it?
In the VIP, sir.
So where is my BIP?
Local traffic, sir.
Yeah, now you will not forget.
Yeah.
Okay, now
In the lower VIP, sir, we will click on the Mohammed VIP.
right.
In the lower, we have to use SSL. These.
So but we don't have this certificate. So in this case, what we can use? We can use default SSL profile, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Sorry, I didn't
now
understand this actually.
okay. No, I will explain you again. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. So this BIP is as a 443, right? But if you go to the resources, we are using the HTTP_pool, means this pool. If we go to this pool, we have this pool, and if we will check the pool members, so on the pool members, we have the service edge. Right. 80.
80.
Yeah, HTTP also we can say. And now if I go here, if I will try it, it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
But now I'm coming to your question, Mohammed. Okay. But you see now HTTPS working.
Yeah, correct. Now HTTPS is working.
That means our front end is secure now, right? Now I'm
Yeah, correct.
coming to this one. Okay. So now you can ask the question. What is your question?
No, I didn't understand this concept. Like, I mean, so you are saying that that port translation already by default is enabled, and
Yeah.
you have done some changes. Like, what is that, and what needs to be done for, in this for this scenario? That's what I want. I want to understand what needs to be done to work the 443 port translation 80 SSL profile client. Okay.
So SSL, I just say whatever the default certificate we have, so I'm just adding to the in between your this PC and your F5. So from PC to F5, we are using this client SSL default SSL, but from F5 to backend server, right? We are still using
80.
480, right? And to secure
Mhm.
this one, we just use the SSL profile client. Client means for client, right?
Okay, so since it's HTTPS, that certificate has to be exchanged. Authentication needs to be done through the
Right.
certificate. So because of it is not available, so the transaction is not happened before. So you have enabled that client SSL, I mean self-signed certificate, right? So then
Right.
they are able to access it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if if I uncheck this option. So the question to Anurag, what will be happen now?
This one, sir.
I have disabled. So let me go again. Okay. Virtual, this virtual, and there are two options. These
Okay.
two I have unchecked.
Yes, sir.
Now what will be happen?
So in this case, sir, the 443 will not be translated to the port 80, and to run these services, we need to enable the 443 services on the backend and the pool also.
Right. That means now the default. So what as F5 is doing? F5 is default doing the port address translation, right?
Correct.
So we are sending the traffic to 443, but it's checking what is the pool members binded to the BIP. So it will redirect to the
Actual
pool
servers.
member,
Yeah, pool
right?
members.
So sometimes sometimes if someone take the interview and he or she can share the screen, right? And he disabled this option, right? So maybe you are not able to access your web, right? So which type of error you got? Error empty response, right? But now if I will again click on this one, see. So but it's take some time, it will be moved to the other server. Why it's not moving? Server 2, server 3, okay, right? So till now we are good.
Okay, did you revert back that translation? So it is working now, right?
Right,
Okay, I mean that net translation you have enabled and port translation as well enabled.
right. Give me a minute, I'm just like. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, so where we are, what we are discussing? We are discussing HTTPS. Okay.
What error we are getting? Error empty.
Yeah.
Can you please go back to the screen? I will write down.
But it's gone. Okay, let me recreate again. uncheck. So this one I will check and let me update. And client. The page is not working.
Error
The
empty
BIP,
response.
yeah, the BIP did not send any data. Why it's not sent? Because the port translation issue, right?
Yeah.
So in this condition, sir, without enabling the port translation, can we fix this issue? Can we make it
Okay,
functional?
so say again.
Sir, without enabling the port translation, so can we make it functional in this scenario?
Okay, so that's a good question. So let me go
What is the
here.
question?
1 second, let me go here, and I am using 80. So it will be work or not? I
Yeah, it
have
will work.
created. How? How it will work?
Because the services, which is already running,
Services.
running 8.80 services is running, and we have the pool members also. Okay, the net transaction I won't have happen.
We have to remove the SSL profile.
Right. Now you guys are doing means using lots of things, eh? Great. Okay, and let me go to the client.
What is the net controls like? Have you
It should
enabled
be
any net
Automap,
control?
I guess, if I'm not wrong. Automap.
Automap in the sense like we have to remove the net transaction, right? So then it won't work.
It should work because we are using the front end and backend service. We are not saying that you need to do any translation.
We can try on the another page, sir. Google. Sure.
It should work, yeah. Even though I used this scenario. Means this is not recommended by F5, okay? This is what we are doing right now. It's not recommended by F5, but still we are trying.
So, sir, instead of changing the port 443 to port 80 in the front end, we can change the service in the back end?
No. Listen, so we have this BIP as a port 80 now.
No, we are not going to change the port 80. We will make it keep 443 with the SSL profile.
Okay, then
443 with the SSL profile. Only change these services at the back end.
Then you are saying then we can enable the 443 on backend.
Right, sir. So
Okay, so let me do this as well. So 443.
We will keep it as previous.
And this one edge.
Yes. So it will not work because the port translation is disabled.
Right.
We
Let
will change the
me.
services.
And I am creating one pool as a HTTPS_pool, right?
Yes, sir.
And which type of monitor we need to use here, Mohammed? HTTP or HTTPS?
Yeah, HTTP. Because there is no HTTPS running on the backend server.
then we can use. If we are using like HTTPS, then we need to monitor as also as a HTTPS, right? So finish. So this is your pool. This is the HTTPS, and go to the virtual. I go to the Muhammad Bib. Under the resources, instead of HTTP, I am using HTTPS now. And on this virtual, still we have like uncheck these options. Okay. And now it would be work or not?
It won't work.
It should work. Let me double check. I tried like I need to check why it's not working, but it should work. Because the port, listen, this mean like we are just like just doing that. Okay, do the port translation, right? Or maybe like this will be like work in the what we can say in the 2 hour. But I tried like this option in the lab only, not like
No,
the
no,
real environment.
actual server running with the port 80. So now
No,
we
no,
are.
actual server is now running with the 443 also. Let me show you again. Okay, so
No, I'm not talking
this is
about
your bib,
I'm not talking about that in F5 side. So I'm just talking about the server end. So
right,
server
right, right.
end,
So I'm coming to here. Listen, your bib is running on 443. I
correct.
open this bib. I go
Mm-hmm.
to the resources. What pool we are using here,
HTTPS.
right? If I
Mm-hmm.
go to the pool and I go to the HTTPS pool and member, which type of service we are using here,
443.
right? So now, any doubt? We
So
have the
10 dot
backend,
10.26.1.10 is a real server, right? I mean
right?
router.
10 dot
2030
no, no,
all
no. These are the real backend server.
real
10
backend
dot,
server.
yeah,
So we are saying here the 10.26 1.10 will listen 443,
yeah.
right?
It's listening. That's the reason it's up. Otherwise, it will not up.
Okay, so we meant that 443 also running under router. That's what I need the confirmation. Yeah,
Right,
fine.
right,
Fine
right.
then.
So we
Then it
enabled
should
the
work.
443. Yeah.
Then it should work.
Yeah, but it's not working. I don't know why it's not working. So what we can do in this case? Hmm?
We will
How
do
we
the
can
telnet.
check? Telnet definitely work here. Let me show you.
Any existing session needs to be cleared.
I'm just checking why it's not working. Putty. Okay. Root. TCP dump NNI any.
And then that's why
It should be NN
I
right? So let me write. So here W var tmp temp um, without port translation.pcap. Okay, now let me go to here, right? And refresh this page. And we should have without this one, copy, paste. Okay, so Windows size scaling factor 0 unknown. Redirect to the host, ICMP. See, certificate is running, right? Certificate saying hello and everything. But after let me filter the traffic with what is our BIP here? 101, right?
Yes, sir.
So you see 50, let me go. This sending the traffic to this, cipher, handshake, okay. Now we sending sync, back, and redirecting to for the host and duplicate egg. Turn on one on a window. Sync duplicate why? Muhammad Big. Search this destination any port, any random port. Okay, no, so we will not waste our time, but yeah, I need to check it But this is not the F5 recommendation again. F5 recommendation is you don't play with this, okay? But we will see once I have the time, I will check how we can perform it.
Okay, sir.
So now it's this. So now it will work or not? Right? We have enabled the translation and now it's working, right?
Okay.
So let me go also here and there is one option source address translation. No, this is the different and protocol SSL. Okay, anyway, I will check later on. So whatever we discussed today, do we have any doubt? On today's part, especially Mohammed, because you missed the last class.
But it makes me a lot of confusions here. So yeah, so that
I think you
self-IP.
need to I need to you need to go through the video again maybe. But yeah, if we have 9 minutes, so I don't want to continue. But still, you have the question. We can go through that.
Yeah,
Means
yeah, I
this
will
is
go through
the
that
Q
second
and A
session.
basically.
Yeah, yeah, I will go through the session. So it is not updated. That's what in the morning I have reached coordinator. It is not there in the portal. I
I
thought,
will also ask because I have also checked and it's saying that this video is not uploaded or something.
yeah, yeah, it is not
If I'm
uploaded.
not wrong, yeah.
Yeah, it is not uploaded. It is not there.
So I will ask no worry. I will ask the
Okay, in
team.
this self-IP part, I mean, so we have 10 VLAN behind the scenarios. So we have to create the VLANs in the F5
Right.
VLANs. So whatever VLAN, production VLAN, development VLAN, all those stuff. I mean, the VLAN
You
10,
need to
20,
create here.
30. I have to create it here.
Right.
So okay, once we created this VLAN, so we have to map this VLAN.
So this is the process once you will ready your F5, right, and you need
Mhm.
to do the network configuration. Always create first of all VLAN. Oh,
Okay.
so sorry. First of all, you will create VLAN, right?
Okay.
Then you will tag your interface. Sorry. So then you will tag your interface. It may be access or maybe trunk, right? To this one. Then you
Yeah.
can create the
I will park it here. So that you're using one arm method here. So in this
right.
case, that 1.1, we have to add all the 10, 20, 30 VLANs. All right.
Yeah. So I'm using this is untagged. So this means I'm using only one VLAN. But
Yeah.
if I will use here 1.1, that means I'm using trunk. Still confused? Okay. Forward everything. Just listen me. Okay. First, we will create VLAN, right? Under the VLAN, we will just forward everything. Okay. And we will tag the interface, right? Second, we will create self IP, right? But before that, you need to identify your interface, right? Right. We have identified the 1.1. So let me go practically. First of all, how much interface are up here?
Yeah, only 1.1.
Right? That means we will use only 1.1, right? We will come here and we will say external underscore VLAN, right? And I'm saying VLAN 20, right? And this is the interface we have 1.1, right? I'm saying untagged and I have added and I have finished it. Okay, so untagged. Okay. Maybe consider as a 1.2 because 1.1 we already using, so that's the reason it's saying, right? Just consider. So finish. Now we have the external VLAN with 1.2, right? Now, if you go to the self IP, you need to create one self IP, external self IP. It may be like 10, 26, 1.70. Subnet mask we are using 255, 255, 255.0. VLAN we use external VLAN, right? And traffic group local only means we are creating the self IP. What it's saying? Self IP. See what it's saying?
That is two VLANs already. 1.1 already we
Yeah,
have
it's saying you have this network already, right? So
yeah,
instead of one, I'm using
two.
two. So it's now available here.
Yeah, available.
And what is the IP? Sorry, interface we are using here 0 by 1, right? So we have the IP on this interface 10.26 1.10, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. Interface GIG 0 by 1, right? No IP address, right?
Mm-hmm.
IP address 10.26 2.10 255 255 255.0, right? This
Mm-hmm.
interface is not so done, so IP interface brief we have the IP 10.26.2.10, right? Okay, so right. And if I go to here, local traffic pool, external, right? And let me use HTTP here. And the node I'm using 10.26.2.20. Paste 80. Add. Finish. Pool member is already exist. Okay. External ext pool 10.26.2.10. This 80. Add. Finish. So we have the the external pool 10.26.2.10. It should be up. Okay, so why it's showing down? Why it's showing down? We coach the 10 to 26.2.70. We need to change the gateway also. So running config section IP default gateway config T IP default gateway 10.26.2.70. Right.
Where
And
this
if
2.70 is there in
on the self IP.
self IP. Okay.
And if I go to the local traffic nodes, or we can say pool, your external pool should be up now. Come on. We are doing one mistake as well also. What is the mistake we are doing? We have the different VLAN, but we are using access port, right? Understood?
But we have different interface we have selected, not in the same 1.1, right?
No. Okay. Yes, you are saying you are right. So let me add 1.3 and untagged and remove 1.1 here. And if I go to here and on the external VLAN, I will use 1.1 as a untagged, right? And I will remove 1.2. It should be up now. Local traffic pool. See, it's up and others are down, right? Confused?
No, not confusion, because so earlier we have done the tag, so that's what
Right.
the trunk port we have enabled, so it is not come up.
Right. So what we need to do, we need to create the VLAN on this switch, right? And we need to
My
make this
question is
interface as
my
1.1 as
question is different actually. So in
uh-huh.
the single arm, so when we are using single arm topology, so we have 10 VLANs. So in this case, how we are creating? That is what my question.
So that's the reason I'm saying now this switch we should create 10 VLAN,
Correct.
right? And this interface what you will use as a
trunk
trunk, and this
between
interface
the
you will
F5
use as a
to switch.
tagged.
Trunk.
No, tagged. This interface you will use as a tagged, na, from F5 end,
Okay, tag.
right?
That 1.1 interface.
That 1.1.
Yeah.
And then you will create the VLAN, and on this VLAN you can add this interface many times.
Oh, that is what my question. Yeah, correct. It's clear
Yeah.
now.
Okay. So don't be confused more. Okay. I think so. That's it for today. Okay. Just revise your stuff. Okay. And maybe after that you have maybe lots of questions, but I will try to give the answer of your question.
Yeah, I will try the lab today itself.
Anurag, Pritam.
But actually, the last week I had tried to get the licenses from 3 mail ID, but still it's showing in that request is put on hold. So I will try again. So last time I forget how I get the licenses from it. It is from mobile either or from I did not know. Or
Yeah, you may try with the different network or with the different email ID.
Okay.
So maybe you will receive the license.
Fine, sir.
Okay. So that's it for today, and we will continue tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I mean, one more thing is like in the lab sections, like in the portal, I can see only the first day notes are available.
No. So
Study material, I can
notes
see day one.
so what happened that we are discussing here, right? So listen, this is the, yeah, I think you are able to see this option day one. But I have added the other day notes also in this lab, on this notes. So this is we are not creating lots of notes, but we are doing more practical.
Okay, I
So
can
this
see
is
only
the
two things.
benefit of the live batch, because notes you need to create with yourself, right?
Okay.
If I will create the notes, then when I will do the lab and all.
Okay, fine.
Right. So that's it for today. And